Before this video starts, I am giving away a game pass. All you need to do is like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below with your Roblox username and which pass you would like, and I'll be drawing the winner in my next video. Hello and welcome to a prospecting video. Today is going to be kind of a special video because we are going to be talking about and showing a new size boost museum and build. Now, this has been a much requested video of mine to show a new size boost with all the new Halloween items, and I have done it. I have got the grid to show you. I'll leave a link in the description so you can see it as well. Now, I normally get the grids from the prospecting Discord, but there was no Halloween updated grid in the Discord, so I had to make one myself this time. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the pan you should use. So if you didn't know this, in pans, there is this thing called a passive. And if we look at like the galactic pan, you will not see any passive, but it's like a hidden thing that this pan can do. And some of those abilities are something called size boost. Now, there is a limited amount of pans that do provide size boost, and I'm going to go through them now. Now, the first pan that provides size boost while you're working your way up the pans is the magnetic pan. Now, the magnetic pan provides a 25% plus size boost, and what that means is if you look in your stats and look at your size boost percentage, it then gives you an extra 25% on top of that. And then the next pan is the diamond pan, but it only gives you a 10%, so I would highly suggest using the magnetic pan over the diamond pan, because diamond pan is literally only 10%. But if you have progressed further than that, then you can use a pan called the World Shaker. Now, the World Shaker gives you a plus 25% size boost as well, just like the magnetic pan, but it does a lot more stats. So it is worth using that pan over the magnetic one because of the extra stats. And then the next pan on the list is something called the Frostbite pan. Now, the Frostbite pan you can find at the Frozen Peak. You do have to complete the Snowy Mountain to get this pan though. And this pan gives you 25% as well. Now, the next pan on the list is something called the Abyssal pan. Now, the Abyssal pan does cost quite a bit of money. It costs $200 million, but it gives you a 20% size boost. And you can find that in the Abyssal Depths, which is still quite new to the game at this point. So the best pans to use for size boost is probably the Frostbite pan or the Abyssal pan. I would suggest using the Abyssal pan because you do get a ton more luck compared to the Frostbite pan. Now, this next pan is the last and final pan that provides size boost, and I had to shout this out because it is the best pan to use, but it is no longer in the game. So this pan was a limited time pan, and that is something called the Galactic pan. Now, you used to be able to find this in the Void. You used to be able to unlock this secret door to buy the pan and the shovel, but it is no longer in the game. So if you don't have the Galactic pan, then use Frostbite or Abyssal. So now we have yapped about the pans, we're now going to talk about the museum. Now, the museum is the most important part when you're making a size boost build. Because if we take a look at the bottom left, you will see my museum stats. I have a look of 1.39 and a size boost of 3.3 times. Now, there is one item I am missing from this build to fully complete it, and that is the 40 kg pumpkin soul. Now, the pumpkin soul is quite hard to get with a size boost build, and to get 40 kg as well, I would suggest using items such as the solo magnifiers. Where are they? They are there, and that provides a solar flare spot, which gives you a plus modifier and a plus size boost for 10 minutes. So solar modifiers and solar tokens is very important to build a size boost museum, because you need to get all the items, and the items you want to use in your museum is this. Now, I couldn't find any grids in the Discord, so I had to make my own. So I'll leave a link to this in the description So for commons, you want to use copper, obsidian, seashell. For uncommons, you want to use zircon, rock candy, and coral. Now rares, you want to use peridot, silver clamshell, and ruby. Epics, you want to use osmium, ashvine, bone. Legendary, you want to use volcanic key, cinnabar, and dragonbone. Mythic, pionite, and volcanic core. And then last but not least, for the exotic, you want to use pumpkin soul. Now, I have put a little abbreviation at the top saying Halloween version, because in 7 to 8 days from when I'm making this video, you will no longer be able to get some of these items, such as the rock candy, the pumpkin soul, the bone. So you want to try and build this Size Boost Museum as quick as possible if you want to follow my Size Boost Museum. Now, my Size Boost Museum, I have focused on obviously Size Boost and then look and capacity. Because what I noticed when I was building this Size Boost Museum, it lacked a lot of look. Now, I have made this so you don't actually get that much look. You get a lot of size boost, but the look is quite low, and that is the reason under modifiers I have put a modifier called a Void Torn. So if you want to copy this museum, you can. I will leave a link in the description. I spent like an hour making this grid, so hopefully you enjoy it and it helps you out. Now, the best modifiers to use is crystalline, because it gives you a size boost of 3 times, and you can find crystalline in geodes. That is the... Oh, a natural meteor shower just spawned. But the only way to get crystalline modification is geodes. And then Void Torn, I have put you can find in the Void. You can find it with the Galactic Pan and Shovel, because that also helps you find Void Torn in the normal world. And then Enchant. I have put Enchant because there is a shovel enchant called Void Touch that gives you Void Torn items. So if you don't have the Void Pan and Shovel and you don't have any Void Shards to spawn Voids, you can get the Shovel enchant, which will help you get Void Torn items. And then the last but not least modifier is Electrified, which gives you Dig and Shake Speed. And the only way to get electrified items is during thunderstorms that happen during admin abuse events. So that is the grid. If you want to use it, like I said, there will be a link in the description. If you find any faults in this grid, then please let me know and I'll make some changes and I will update the picture in the description. So if you do find any faults, leave a comment down below on what you think the fault is. Or I could have just made some simple mistakes. Like I said, it did only take me like an hour to make this. But if you don't actually get like the rock candy or the pumpkin soul or the bone in time, then you can literally use this grid to replace the items that are missing. Now, this grid shows you every single item in the game and what they do in the museum and what kg you need for the maximum stats. So this grid is very useful. I will also leave this in the description for you to use as well. But now we have spoke about the grids and I've shown you what items I am currently using, and that is how I have a size boost of 3.3. Now, I don't have the 40 kg pumpkin soul, but I do have like a 21 kg, so it's only doing half of the power. So I could probably get my museum to a 3.5 size boost. And now you probably want to see what build I'm using. And I think this Halloween mask is kind of a giveaway. Now, I am using Frostform Pendant, which gives you 110% size boost. The Pumpkin Lord, which is giving me 176 size boost. And then I am using 8 Ring of Thorns. Now, the Ring of Thorns are quite expensive to make and quite hard to get. So if you don't have Ring of Thorns, then you can use Prismatic Stars, which give you around 20%. You can use Umbrite Rings, which give you 15%. So if you can't get 8 Ring of Thorns, then you can use Prismatic Stars and Umbrite Rings, because they don't do that much less percentage. But if you want to max it out like I have, then go 8 Ring of Thorns, Frostform Pendant and Pumpkin Lord. Now, this is something I should mention. The Pumpkin Lord has no luck. but it does give me a size boost of 1,897, which is actually incredible size boost. Like, look at that. I'm nearly 2,000 size boost almost. But you will see that my look is 4,227. So the look is really poor. So this is what I do when I go for exotics. I look at my equipment and I take off the Pumpkin Lord and I put on an item called the Witch's Hat. Now, if you don't have the Witch's Hat, you can use an item called Antlers of Life, which gives you a look of 640. But the Witch's Hat doesn't give you any size boost, but it gives you a look of 1,100. Now, if we take a look at my stats again, the size boost has gone down to 1,315, but my look has gone up to 7,000. So that is an extra 3,000 look increase from just swapping out one item. Now, you could do something like swapping out some Ring of Thorns for Umbrite Rings, because Umbrite Rings do give you a tremendous amount of luck, about 250 per ring if you max it out. So you could always swap out, let's say, 2 Ring of Thorns for 2 Umbrite, or if you've only got 6 slots, then use 6 Ring of Thorns, or you could go 4 Ring of Thorns and 2 Umbrite. So this is the build I use when I'm hunting exotics, and then this is the build I am using when I'm hunting the best size boost possible, because it does give me a size boost of nearly 1,900. Now, we are going to go showcase the build for a little bit, because I think that is enough yapping. I think I've pretty much covered everything you want to use and what to put in your museum. And like I said, the grids, if you want to take a look at them further or download them, then they are in the description for you to use. And if I did make any mistakes on the grid, because I did have to make it myself this time, then please let me know in the comments and I will update it. Now, I have popped into a public server so I can show you what this build is about and how good it is. I am using the Galactic Pan, the Galactic Shovel, because I'm trying to get a Void Torn Pumpkin Soul. But the shovel, if you have the Galactic Pan, I would probably suggest using like the best shovel you can use. Now, I am going to show you how good this build is. So we do have a capacity of 1 for... Oh my god, we got a Vortessence. No way. Like, Mythics are actually rare with this build as well. And I do have 12,000 luck, but there is a Meteor Shower on right now. That's how I have so much luck in my standard build. Now, you will see that it takes a little bit to dig, but the shaking is gone in pretty much a second. Now, this build is actually very good. I am a fan of this build. I personally believe this is the best size boost build, but I'm always happy to be proven wrong in the comments. But just look how fast it is. I'm getting 12,000 luck, and my pan is just disappearing. Like, you could basically just speed pan with a size boost build. It's quite good. Now, like I said, when you're looking for high weighted items, then you do want to use solar tokens and solar magnifiers, because they are very useful to use. And you want to use luminant totems as well, because it gives you extra capacity. Like, when I'm using a luminant totem, my capacity goes to 1,500. And then if you're hunting exotics, you want to go into your equipment and swap out the Pumpkin Lord for something that does luck, like the antlers or the... where is it? The Witch's Hat, because I've gone from 12,000 luck to 20,000 luck with a Meteor Shower and totems. So it does help getting exotics a bit easier, it really does. But it does make your shaking of the pan a lot slower, like this. Like, you can see the slowness of shaking the pan now. Also, here's another tip. When you're hunting items for your museums, like sizable items, you can literally go to a specific item and press this auto lock button, and it will pretty much like make it so you only get that item and not other items. So you don't have to turn off like your autosell if you have it. So when you press this look button, it auto favorites Seashell, and you can do that with any single item in the whole entire game. And if you're wondering where to get the Pumpkin Lord blueprint, you can find it right here for 800 candy. Now, 800 candy is not actually that impossible to get, and this Pumpkin Lord blueprint, I highly suggest getting it. because it gives you an item that gives you like 200% size boost. So it's really worth using. Now, that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy, and hopefully I helped you with a new size boost museum in the game. This is the Halloween version of the size boost museum and build. So if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and if you really enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with your daily prospecting content. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.